Hi everyone, and welcome back to Queen G's Recipes. And today I'm going to be showing you a very simple, fun, and delicious summer treat, which is a tropical lime pie. Now it is kind of like a lime pina colada kind of pie, just a little twist on a pina colada flavor, but the ingredients you'll be needing are very few, very simple, and the directions are super simple to follow. So I'm going to go over the ingredients right now. What we're going to be needing here is a 9-inch pie shell. Now what I have here is a frozen pie shell, which you will find in your local grocery store in the frozen section near puff pastries, frozen fruits, and things like that. So what I did was I followed the directions on the box, which was bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. So just follow the directions on the box that you purchase for your pie shell. So that's baked, that's done and ready. What I have here is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, which we will be whipping up to firm peaks. We will be reserving about a 1/4 cup to a 1/3 cup of whipped cream for the topping, and the remaining will go into our pie mixture. Now here what I have is a cooked package of pudding and pie filling, coconut flavored. Now what I used was this one. Okay, so you will most definitely find this in your grocery store in the baking section, and very inexpensive and very easy instructions to follow. Now the only thing with the coconut pudding is you're not going to follow the instructions for the amount of milk that you will be adding in. So for this package of pudding, you will be adding in 1.5 cups of milk instead of 3 cups. But you can still follow the directions on how to cook the pudding, and that is perfectly fine. Just half the milk of the recipe. Okay, so I have done that, and then what you want to do is place some plastic wrap actually touching the pudding so that it will not create a film on the pudding while it's cooling off before you're ready to use it. So mine has cooled off and I have left it at room temperature, but you can place it in the fridge if you're short on time and you need it to cool off quicker. We're also going to be needing a lime jello flavored jello. So we are going to be using this, and we're going to be adding in 1 cup of water and not the typical directions you would find on your jello packaging. So we'll be changing that up. And you're also going to be needing an 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened at room temperature. Now I'm going to be making this in my standing mixer, but most definitely you can make this with a handheld electric whisk and it'll work out just fine. So let's move on to whipping our whipping cream, and then we'll move on to the following steps. Okay, so with our whisk attachment, if you're using your standing mixer, we are going to whisk up our whole cup of heavy whipping cream, and we're going to mix this until firm peaks. Make sure you don't go beyond that point because it will start to turn into butter. Alright, so now that our whipped cream is nicely whipped to nice firm peaks, we are going to remove the whipped topping and we're going to place it in a separate bowl aside. And without washing this bowl, we will just continue on making the remaining of our filling. Okay, so now before preparing our filling, we are going to prepare our jello. So we'll add in our lime gelatin powder, and we're going to add in 1/2 cup of boiling water. And now we're going to stir until it dissolves. Okay, so now that we can see that our gelatin is fully dissolved, we'll add in 1/2 cup of cold water. Now we're going to mix just for another 30 seconds or so. Okay, so now that our gelatin is nicely mixed together, we're going to set it aside until we need it, which won't be very long. Okay, so now into our mixer, we are going to add in our cream cheese, and we're going to give it just a little heads up, just kind of remove any chunks, so we're just going to soften it up. Okay, so now we'll scrape down the sides of our bowl to make sure we don't have anything stuck along the sides or the middle bottom of our bowl here. Okay, so that's okay, this is good. And now we're gonna add in our pre-made coconut pudding mixture here. It's going to be firm because we didn't add the full quantity of the milk. So that is totally normal. And now we're going to mix this until nice and creamy. Okay, so now that our cream cheese and our coconut pudding is nicely mixed together, you can see it's a nice creamy mixture. I scraped down the sides of my bowl, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our jello mixture. Now what I have done is I have put it into a pourable measuring cup. You can put it into whatever is easier for you guys, but we are going to mix this and add the jello slowly as we mix the mixture. So make sure that your machine is on as you're adding in your jello mixture. Okay, so our mixture is nice and creamy. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to remove my bowl from my standing mixer, and we're going to add in about 1 cup of the whipped cream into our mixture with a spatula. Okay, so into our filling mixture, we're going to add in about 1 cup of our whipped cream. And the remaining we'll be using for our topping. And just with the spatula, we're going to mix down and around gently, not to lose the volume of our whipped cream. Okay, so just a few tips before adding in your whipped cream into your filling mixture. You need to make sure that your mixture has no clumps, because remember, this is not being baked. So we need to make sure that all the cream cheese, everything is nice and smooth before adding in your whipped cream, so that when you add in your whipped cream, you will have a nice smooth mixture. So make sure you're always cleaning along the sides with your spatula and on the bottom of your bowl. Okay, so my mixture is nicely combined now, and I'm just gonna add it into my pie shell. Okay, so I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the beginning, but this mixture will give you 2 9-inch pies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reserve the remaining, and I will be placing it into another baked pie shell that I have aside there. And now we're going to place this in our fridge for about 4 to 6 hours, or overnight is always best. And then we'll decorate it. I'll show you what I'll be using on my toppings, and then we'll be ready to try it. Okay, so now with the remaining of our whipped cream, I am actually going to add in probably about 1 teaspoon of powdered sugar. Okay, so I'll add in my powdered sugar now. All right, we're gonna give this a very gentle mix just to incorporate our sugar. Okay, so this is good enough. Okay, and now we're just gonna take this and place it in a piping bag or in a bowl with some plastic wrap. And you're gonna make sure that it's covered when you refrigerate it. So I'm gonna place it into my piping bag here. Okay. And I'm not gonna cut the tip until I am ready to decorate the top of my pie. Okay, so most definitely we are ready to try a piece of our pie. Okay, so we are most definitely ready to try this pie. Look how amazing this is. The lime color is gorgeous from our gelatin. It is just perfection. Now it's time to see how amazing this pie tastes. I can't even tell you guys, the creaminess is like the creaminess of a cheesecake, and then the texture is a pie texture. It is just so perfect. You won't even tell that there is gelatin in this recipe, and I definitely suggest you guys try this out. It is so amazing and delicious. It's just perfection. So good, so amazing. It's such a perfect dessert for the summer. Most definitely, you guys will love it. It is so simple to make and so creamy and delicious and fresh. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to share the recipe with your family and friends. Enjoy the recipe, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to continue eating my pie, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.